welcome to sports between Chennai Super Kings and Sunrisers Hyderabad. Two teams with at absolute opposite spectrums of the points table. Before this match, Chennai had 8 wins and 2 losses. Hyderabad opposite, 2 wins, eight losses, and the table toppers have handed over yet another loss to the SRH side. I have my regular friends who are panelists for this show, Nishit and Jay. I'll come to Nishit first, and both Chennai Super Kings openers have added 400 each in this IPL, in this year's IPL, and it does not happen rarely. Do you think that this opening pair has played an instrumental role in CSK's revival, especially considering how their last season was?
Undoubtedly, 2020 was an aberration for CSK because they have qualified for the playoffs for the 11th time in 12
Yeah.
seasons for them, which is a record. And as you rightly said, it was a match between two teams which have had the most contrasting of all seasons. CSK becomes the first team to qualify for the playoffs, and SRH becomes the first team to be eliminated from the IPL. And a big role in CSK's reversal of fortune, so to speak, is undoubtedly of the openers, because we have had multiple discussions about various matches initially, and we have discussed how the teams have struggled to score on the pitches of Sharjah, and even in Dubai, the teams have struggled. It has always been the case in this leg of the IPL that there have been brief starts, but only one or two players might have performed quite well. But for CSK, the openers have always performed this time, and it is that foundation that they helped create at the start, at the beginning, which has helped CSK to catapult to a victory, irrespective of the fact that it's a high scoring or a low scoring match. And as you rightly mentioned, now Ruturaj Gaikwad and Faf du Plessis have the highest partnership for CSK across all the seasons. They have now scored 591 runs, eclipsing the previous record of Mike Hussey and Suresh Raina, which was 587. No one would have thought that Ruturaj Gaikwad and Faf du Plessis, unlikely pair, but we feel as if they've been batting since ages, and there's a lot of understanding between them. And the last three partnerships have been of 75, 71, 74. So consecutive 50 plus partnerships in the power play, giving CSK a very brilliant start. And then obviously a shout out to Jason Holder for taking the wickets of both the openers and also picking up 3 wickets. But he once again a one-man show for SRH, the lone man fighting for SRH. And at the last, I felt that Dhoni and Raidu did push the victory too close to comfort. I thought they might have won in the 17th or 18th over, but at the end, they won quite easily. Once again, Dhoni finishes off in style. But yeah, the openers have played a pivotal role, and shout out to Ruturaj Gaikwad for his performance every time.
Yes, absolutely. I think Nishit has summarized it beautifully. It's been prime consistency by the CSK openers, and because of the losing side SRH, it's kind of tough, right? We can always talk about SRH focusing on the positives. That's what their head coach Trevor Paley speaks about in sideline interviews, post match is, and but at some point now they are stuttering at 2 wins and defeats. It's a almost
It's a
disappointing.
lot to take in.
Yeah,
For the whole team, it would be a lot to take in because they saw their skipper go out because he was not performing, and now he has been replaced by another person. And even though Roy performed really good in the last match, it will take him some time to get used to it. The way we saw him going out today, if he would have stayed on, or maybe Kane Williamson would have gone on for a longer time, because what they have done this time is now that they know, from before the previous match, I guess we had heard them talking about experimenting with all the youth, giving them that much of an exposure because they already know where they stand. They are pretty realistic with the approach that they want to start building a roster for the future. So now what they are doing is they are giving opportunities to more youngsters. So because
yeah.
of that, when Roy and when Kane Williamson is going out, so after that point there was not much for them to do today. And when we talk about the the dressing room, so I guess now their focus is more on the future, trying to build up experience, trying to show what individual players are capable of, so that they can look into maybe their individual futures, or maybe make a name so that SRH is able to retain them, and maybe do something around that. So I guess that is more or less the approach of the players, and if they are thinking in that direction, so they might still have something positive to hold on to. Otherwise, it's not been their season this time, and it might just be a blimp. But for all of these players, going through it in one season in two different legs, because this might even feel like two different seasons, because they had a disappointing first half, and now this is another, it is another of the same. So it might be really difficult for them to come out of this kind of a mess.
Yeah. Yes, true. I mean, I feel that this is why IPL is known to be one of the toughest gigs around cricketing circles, because at 1 year you can be at the top, next year you come back and you find yourself reeling, or vice versa, as you see CSK doing this year. More about CSK, let's talk about one of their heroes, not only for this season, but for a long time now. This is part of our discussion of the day segment where we speak about Bravo, who returned excellent figures of 2 for 17 from 4 today. And just a straight up question: do you think he's one of the all-time IPL greatest all-rounders? Jay?
Definitely, definitely. From the start of IPL, he has stuck around with CSK, and the kind of performance that he gives. Even during the last match we talked about him, where Sam Curran had replaced him, and then we had seen Sam Curran giving away a lot of runs, and him not even able to being perform in the middle order, where it almost cost them the game. So that shows you the kind of significance, the kind of importance that Dwayne Bravo holds as a key player to this team, because even in today's game we saw him take key wickets, and the kind of bowling that he has, the kind of experience that he has, the way he bowls the slow balls, the kind of variation that he gets, that is really difficult to that is a kind of skill, the kind of talent that he has, which shows in the games. So Dwayne Bravo
Yeah,
is definitely one of the most important players for CSK on the whole. And talking about all rounders, I guess this time it is more or less all the games are going around them. You see Ravindra Jadeja, you see Glenn Maxwell, you see Kyron Pollard, you see Dwayne Bravo. So I guess each team needs one all rounder who's able to turn the whole game around when other people are not able to perform. So that is where Dwayne Bravo comes into the picture for CSK.
yeah, quite the champion player that Bravo is. Nishit, would you like to add something? Do you agree? Do you have a contrasting opinion? Something?
No, no, I completely agree what Jess said. I mean, Bravo has been an MVP player for CSK since across all the seasons, and we talked about how the big players, the experienced players, the overseas players haven't been able to perform quite well and have been struggling in this IPL. But there have been some exceptions, and Bravo is one of them. And it's always, and it's very interesting when Jay mentioned that these two legs of the IPL feel like two different seasons, and especially the challenging conditions of this leg of the IPL cannot be surpassed by any other previous version of the IPL, because I can't remember consecutive low scoring matches like this happening. And so each and every team has been struggling a lot, but CSK's collective effort, and in that, like, along with the openers, I guess Bravo has an important role to play, because at the end he gives a lot of betting depth, and he offers a lot of options for Dhoni as well as a captain. And Bravo plays a key role in the reversal of fortunes for CSK. I mean, taking up 2 wickets and then also being an economical bowler, giving just 16, 17 runs in 4 overs. I mean, obviously, each and every dot ball that you bowl in IPL at this stage, it is as important as picking up a wicket. So the 2 wickets and then just giving 17 runs in 4 overs builds a lot of pressure. And it's as if it was, Bravo's bowling was pushing the final nail in SRH's coffin, figuratively speaking. So I feel that Bravo will be a key asset in CSK's team. Dhoni also mentioned Bravo in the post-match presentation, where the ball was nipping on the seam today, and it was quite challenging for the batsman. But Bravo was able to make the most out of the conditions that were offered by the pitch today. And as always, he has been contributing a lot. So undoubtedly, is one of the most key assets for CSK in this season and across all seasons, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, I saw a recent interview about when Harsha Bhogle asked Josh Butler what does greatness define? What defines greatness for him?
Right.
And Butler replied that one of the key aspects of being a great player in any sports is the longevity that you have, because longevity defines that you have been at the highest level of a sport for 10, 12 years. You have been
True.
that good that you have not been able to, no one else has been able to replace you. You have always been able to reinvent yourself. You have been able to change with the times. And Rao is not young. He's 36, 37. He looks very young though, with his moves every time he takes a wicket and all, but he's very smart. He's got the cricketing smarts, very characteristic to someone who belongs from the Caribbean. And yes, it's he's definitely one of our IPL all-time greats, is what we believe here. And moving ahead, we have an interesting game tomorrow. It's Punjab versus Kolkata. A win for Punjab would open a four-way race for the final spot between Kolkata, Punjab, MI, and Rajasthan. I mean, now we are at that part of the tournament where every team playing would also be watched by teams who are not playing, and they would want आज तुम जीत जाओ मैं कल तुम्हें हरा दूंगा परसों कोई तीसरा टीम मुझे हरा देगा. Lots of permutations, combinations. Jay, what are you looking at from this game?
Now, at this point of the stage, it is always the same way. Like, you keep looking, you keep making calculations that if this team goes out, then this might beat this team, and then finally my favorite team might get into the qualifiers. So at this point
Yeah,
of time, like, it's anybody's game if they keep on winning, or like, at times it is even in the hands of other teams. Like if this team is not able to beat the other one, so then one of the teams might not be able to qualify. So this is where it gets really interesting, where not just your game, but the games of the other teams, your whole your qualifying, the chances dependent on all of them. So tomorrow's game would be pretty interesting. Like, there will be all the fans watching that game to see how it is going to finally end up.
yeah. Nishit, you see Punjab winning the match for 80% of the time and then giving it away at the last 3 overs or something like that.
Uh, yeah, I feel that at there now it's a very integral part of the championship. So irrespective of their performance in the previous matches, I guess they have to hang on till the last ball is bowled. Otherwise, they will completely miss out. I mean, when KKR walked into this season's IPL, they had a target of winning 6 matches out of the seven ones. But I guess they're now close to that. Barring their loss against CSK, they have been performing quite well. While on the other hand, Punjab Kings had a very demoralizing, demotivating loss against Mumbai, and they would want to break out from that mindset, that negative mindset. And when we talk about the head-to-head performances or the matches between Punjab and KKR so far, the odds have been very lopsided in the favor of Kolkata. I mean, Kolkata has won 19 matches and Punjab
Oh,
has won just 9 matches. And the last time they had a clash, I guess it was back in Ahmedabad. And finally, the best part is that we are seeing the match back in the Dubai International Stadium. So maybe it might be a high-scoring game, and we might feel that the batsmen will be able to perform and dominate the bowlers, and we also get some time to enjoy the matches and not come so early.
yeah.
And I feel that KKR also has been winning the matches, but they do not
Yeah,
have a
on
lot
that
of
point,
breathing
I have the
space.
point table with me. KKR has won 5 from 11. MI has
Hmm.
been the same. Punjab 4,
True.
RR 4. Everyone has played 11 games, so it opens up. It's a very tightly, and I feel CSK, DC, RCB are the three teams that go up. And so, I mean, if Jay Nishit, I asked you, whom I ask you now, as
Hmm.
things stand, whom do you think is the fourth team that goes through? What do you think, Jay? Just one word answer.
I
You
would
feel this
say
feel.
KKR or MI, like, the way they are going back, because MI now has Hardik Pandya back, and they have also got, like, Rohit Sharma is back. And so I would hedge more on MI, and then, like, 60-40 on KKR because of the way they've started the second leg.
Nishit,
I also back KKR, but it would if Mumbai comes, it will be positive for India because a lot of key Indian players there. But I feel KKR might edge Mumbai and get into the playoffs.
yeah, true. If KKR, MI both win their last three games because they don't play each other, KKR goes through because of a superior net run rate.
Net run
And
rate,
then
right.
KKR will feel, oh, Venkatesh Iyer, you won that match in 10 overs and the other in 15 overs. So,
right.
yes, lots and lots to discuss. As we enter the business end of the tournament, we'll be bringing you lots of daily reviews, defining key movements of the game, and many such more events. If you want us to speak about something specific, please do comment, like, share, and subscribe. Till tomorrow's game between KKR and Punjab, probably botching up another run chase or something like that. I'm being too harsh. All the Punjab fans just unsubscribed on our page. So anyway, all right. See you guys tomorrow. Bye. Good night.
Good night, guys. Bye-bye.